Wake up with wave. At a certain point, you just gotta let what is be what it is. Right? Let this be what it is. Right? Mm. Mm. And when you fall off track, get right on back. Yeah, we got the cognitive dissonance piece, right? Cognitive dissonance. We got the Wedical piece. Minos piece. Exponential evolution. Oh, 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 oh. Yeah. But I think fundamentally, it's the schedule shift. It's going to make a big difference. Something about living on purpose. The double meaning of that word. Living on purpose. Living on purpose, on purpose, on purpose, on purpose. Right? Because you've got on purpose, like on your purpose. And then you've got on purpose, meaning like meaning to. As in, I meant to do that. That's something on purpose, on purpose. good day. It's a good day. It's a good day to make. It's a good day to make. It's a good day to balançar. Yeah. Good day to get back on track. What do they say? If at first you don't succeed, try again. Yeah. Yeah. We're on the right track. We get off track, but then we get on track. And we're going to figure this out. We got a lot to do in a short amount of time. But we're going to extract time. We're going to extend time. We're going to extend time. Extract time. Extend time. We're going to let go. And we're going to heal. We're going to let go and we're going to elevate and we're going to heal. We're going to let go and we're going to elevate. We're going to level up. We're going to shed layers of skin. We're going to shed layers of skin. We're going to shed layers of skin and we're going to lock it in. And to lock it in doesn't mean to be robotic, but there is a certain cadence. There is a certain cadence that's needed, a kind of metronome. It's like a metronome is robotic, but it allows for some of the most beautiful music to be made. And so what we need is, we need a metronome. We need containment. And we can be creative within that containment. We can be creative within that containment. But we need that containment. And we need that rhythm. For a certain type of entrainment. We need the rhythm for the entrainment. Yeah. Good. Good. Oh. This is good. This is good. Yeah, and we've got to bring in into that entrainment, into that cadence, a time for more cleaning and organizing, and there needs to be a new relationship with cleaning and organizing. Where it isn't resisted. Where it has a quality of release to it. Where it has the quality of releasing energy rather than trapping energy. Where it becomes part of the letting go process. Mm. Yeah, and there's this other piece too, which is, I mean, it's fascinating, but the relationship between self and self. However you want to put it, uppercase self, lowercase self, self A, self B. But if they don't have a good relationship, life doesn't have a good quality. Their alignment is so important. So aligning those two selves, or another way of saying it is, when the evolving self recognizes what it needs to evolve, when the evolving self recognizes what it needs to evolve, and the old version self resists or rebels, it impedes evolution. So, what would it look like to onboard the old version of self? Why is the onboarding, why is the old version resisting and rebelling? It's essentially resisting and rebelling against the revolution. And the evolutionary self is leading the revolution. So the evolutionary self might say, start doing that or stop doing that. But it requires enrollment. And so there's an element of taking care of this old version. If the evolving self does not tend to the needs of the old version, then the old version will tend to its needs by resisting and rebelling. So we need to think, the evolving self needs to think, how can I care for the needs? How can I meet the needs that are being taken away here? Because when there's evolution, whether it's bringing in a new thing, for example, like studying Japanese for 30 minutes a day, bringing in a new thing, or taking away an old thing, like no longer eating refined sugar. The adding needs to make sure that it's not taking away a need. And the taking away needs to make sure that it's not taking away a need. So how will we address those needs? It's very important. It's very important that there is this alignment, that there's this relationship. And I think oftentimes the evolved self, the evolutionary self, thinks it's so obvious. The evolutionary self is just like, it's obvious, let's just do it. This is great. The evolutionary self thinks it's obvious. Let's just do it. And doesn't think that there's any more to it. Cutie bud. But there is a relationship between the E self and the O self. There's a P self and a C self. Between the evolutionary self and the old self, there's a parent self and a child self. And that child self has feelings. And those feelings are being addressed by the old ways. Those holes are being plugged up by the old ways. Old patterns, old coping strategies are being plugged up by the old ways. So we need to actually have an active dialogue if we're going to evolve. if we're going to evolve and bring our child self along with us, we need to tend to and care for that child self, not in a patronizing way, not in a belittling or a patronizing way, but in a massively respectful, honoring way. We need to bring it along, invite it along, ask what it needs. We need to bring them along, invite them along, ask what they need, and care for them as if they were a child. We can't use our power to override them. We need to invite them, and if they have objections, dialogue with them, love them, care for them. Because if we don't enroll them in a process, if we don't enroll them, if we don't receive their active participation, if we make them, or we mandate them, or we simply bring them along without asking them, without receiving a yes, right? Some parents make the mistake of thinking that they can just ask, that asking is enough. So they ask, and the child says, no, I don't want to. And then they bring the child along anyways. And say, well, at least I asked. Yeah, but it was a no. It doesn't matter how pleasurable or painful, how fun or how boring this new trip is. Doesn't matter if it's Disneyland or a landfill. It's not as simple as, oh, just bring the child to Disneyland, and as simple as don't bring the child to the landfill. It's actually asking. Asking, how do you feel about this trip? Do you want to go on this trip? If we go on this trip, what do you need to feel good? What do you need to feel safe? What do you need to feel loved? So if the mind comes up with a great idea, if the mind comes up with a great evolutionary step, remember that that's only step one. Because to evolve, you have to involve. To evolve, you need to involve. And to evolve, you need to involve and integrate. So that participation is voluntary. And that is where alignment comes from. And from alignment comes actual change. From alignment comes transformational evolutionary change. From alignment comes actual evolutionary change and transformation that is sustaining and upleveling, that is sustainable and upleveling. Without alignment, the idea is just a concept. Without enrollment, without voluntary participation, it will be very difficult, if not impossible, to uplevel. If you think about it like this, if you think about the upleveling, like you have this idea that you want to go to the next step. Let's say you want to go to the next level, and there's a staircase. You want to go to the next level, and there's this staircase of 100 steps. And without alignment, without participation, without enrollment, it's like having a 200-pound weight on your back. It's like having a 200 weight on your back trying to get up 100 stairs. And so you either get up a few stairs and collapse, you either get up a few stairs and tumble back, you either strength train and get up 12 stairs, 20 stairs, and then have to sit down and rest for 24 hours. Sometimes you get pulled back down to the bottom of the stairs because you're hungry, because you're tired, because you're whatever. Whereas when you go through the process of enrolling, of asking, of inquiring, of tending to, of caring for, of taking care of the needs, what are your needs? How can I support you? How can I care for you? How can I ensure that this is going to be a good How can I ensure that this is going to be a good choice for us, a good evolution? How can I ensure that this is going to be a good new level for us to be at? How can I ensure that it's going to be safe for you? How can I make sure that your needs are met? The evolutionary self saying to the old self, your needs will be met. You will be loved and safe and cared for. And the parent self to the child self, how can I make sure that your needs are met? Because I'm not going without you. I'm not going without your I'm not going without your free will and your choice. I'd love to go there. But only if you'd love to go there too. I'd love to go there, but only if you'd love to go there too. Would you like to go with me? Would you like to go on that camping trip with me? No, we're going on a camping trip. So remove that internalized hierarchy. Remove that internal dominance. Remove that internal entitlement and self-righteousness. Level the playing field. Honor the child. Live child-centric. Revere the child. Honor the old. Revere the old. Cherish the old. And then invite them along. And if they don't want to go on the camping trip, don't belittle them. Don't shame them. Don't guilt trip them. Tell them, well, I love you. I care about you. What do you want to do? Where do you want to go? And listen, truly listen. Because it could be that they don't want to go on a camping trip. What they want to do is play catch with you all weekend. They just want to go outside and play catch. They just want to go outside and play catch. If you actually listen to what they want to do, and you do what they want to do, and they know that they are seen and loved and held and witnessed, then it could very well be that a week or 2 or 4 later, when you say you want to go on the camping trip, they say yeah, because they feel connected to you, because they trust you, because they realize that they're being honored and cherished and seen. They realize that they're being put first. They realize that they're not part of your agenda. So shift the polarities, shift the paradigm. There's a reason why it's called raising children. Raise the child up. Raise the child up. Raise the old version. Up to those new evolutionary levels. But to raise, R-A-I-S-E, is an engaged process. To raise involves conscious presence. To raise involves connection. To raise is not the hierarchy. To raise is not to say, I'm up here, I'll pull you up. To raise is not to say, I'm going up and you're coming with me. To raise is not to put on one's back involuntarily and to start climbing. To raise up is to share vulnerably and excitedly. What is up? And to invite and engage and encourage. But only to an extent. Only to an extent. Because at a certain point, it's about actively listening. So if you invite and encourage and extend a wonderful offer, and the child says, no, I don't want to. And it's very important not to try to insist or convince or manipulate. It's important to listen. It's important to listen and to say, what do you want? What do you need? Okay. Okay. It involves surrender. Okay. It involves an actual, okay, I hear you. I hear you. What do you want to do? What are your needs? And then you can pivot, then you can make other suggestions. Because to raise up isn't to force up. It's not linear. It's not linear, and it can't be done in a linear or forceful fashion. Exponential evolution is not a line. Exponential evolution is exponential evolution. It's an exponential curve. And there's bumps along the way too. And those need to be acknowledged, not bulldozed. Those need to be heard and seen, not ignored. So counterintuitively, focus on that connection. Focus on that connection. Focus on that connection and patience and love and kindness and reverie. Focus on that. And you will flow into exponential evolution. In contrast to if you try to do this hierarchy thing, this dominance thing. It will create resistance, rebellion, stagnation, stuckness, dual resentment. In order to expand out, in order to expand outward, it's important first to expand inward. In order to move and to accelerate and to escape velocity, we need to align. We need to unify. We need there to be internal synergy and alchemy. We need there to be internal synergy and alchemy. We need there to be internal synergy and alchemy.